Hello everyone. I am here again with another video of cleaning the headlights. For the experimental purposes only, I am scratching my headlight with a dry sandpaper. As you can see, sandpaper is very hard, and you can see small lines or scratches on my headlight cover. I am rubbing this lower grit dry sandpaper to make my headlight look foggy and cloudy with scratches. Most of the old cars do have such messy headlights. So, the real question is, how do you fix such scratched foggy headlights at home? Without going to a workshop. What I am going to use is a wet sandpaper. Note, the higher the grit, the finer the sandpaper. This is silicon carbide waterproof abrasive paper. Water sandpaper is slower but can make the object smoother. The finer water sandpaper is, the slower the process and the smoother the object is. With this I am going to use water and detergent. You can use any soap. And the last I am going to use cutting cream. Also called rubbing compound, which is an abrasive material suspended in a paste that is used to restore car paintwork. Let's mix detergent in the water and then put waterproof sandpaper in it for 5 minutes. Okay, let's start the process. You have to keep the headlight wet the whole process. I am going to use the water sandpaper. Slowly start sanding the headlight, making sure to spray water while you sand. We add detergent and water because this will provide the lubricant for the sandpaper to prevent it from burning the plastic cover when force is applied. While the soap isn't mandatory, it does help lubricate the surface. You can also use car wash soap. Ensure the surface is clean and wet. Always pre-soak the sandpaper and then continue to sand the surface. Always keep the surface well lubricated and rinse away any sanding material when needed. The high areas have been touched with the sandpaper, while the low areas are still shiny. Be very careful when using your hand around body lines or edges. Always pre-soak the sandpaper. Ensure the area is wet and work evenly across the surface. If you are sanding close to paint, these can be covered up with tape as a form of protection. There's no need to dry the surface, but it does help to see how the surface looks and if you missed any spots. There should be a uniform finish. Most of the scratches should have been removed. Rinse the area, removing any sanding material, and again using the same process. You'll notice your headlight turn cloudy. Once the wet sanding process is done, now it is time to use cutting cream. This can be done by hand or with a machine polisher. You can use a buffing pad, or I typically stick with soft clothes. It's normally recommended not to work in circular patterns. If you pick up any dirt, this can leave swirl marks which can be harder to remove than a straight scratch. That's why it's always important to have a clean area to work in. If the cloth or pad is dropped, put it off to the side and use a clean one. Don't risk damaging the headlight. As you can see, the headlight shine is coming back. After a bit more time, here's the final shine. Apply UV protective coating for headlights. If you like the video, please subscribe.